All right. So, if you're just watching this, I would say welcome. This might probably be your first opportunity into the AI training space, okay, where there are a lot of things you're going to do: data annotation, image annotation, audio annotation, video annotation, so many things you're going to do uh in this AI training space, and it's a very big opportunity. You can actually make a living from it. Okay. I dropped this. This is Atlas. As you can see, I received an email from Atlas as a freelance data annotator. So, yeah, let's jump into it. So once you click the link and you register, you're going to be asked your name, your full name, your date of birth, okay? Please input every detail rightly. You're also going to be asked for your email, where they're going to send you a code, and then you proceed to the next phase. The next phase, they're going to ask you for ID verification. So if you have your passport, you have your driver license, you have your NIN, the premium version, try to verify your account. And then you move further to the next phase where you're going to sign a contract. Okay. You're going to sign a binding contract. Every company does that. Now, once you come to that part, it might not load. Okay. It might not load. So just go back to the previous step, then come back again. Okay. And click on the contract area as quickly as possible. Fill every necessary thing for the contract, sign your contract, and then you'll be taken to the next page where they're going to ask you connect your Discord account. So if you don't have Discord, please go and set up your Discord. All right, go and set up your Discord. As you can see, my Discord account is clearly connected right now. So that is just it about the registration process. Once you're done, okay, you'll be brought down to the dashboard. Now you have to be active on Discord, because it seems they're going to be giving roles. You can see they're going to be giving roles that might affect your pay later in the future. I feel these guys are a new company because I checked them out on LinkedIn. I've actually been following them on LinkedIn. Okay, I think I should bring that up. I've actually been following them on LinkedIn, and I saw when they started posting about jobs. So this is how your dashboard will look like, and sadly, you're not going to get the best experience if you haven't just a mobile phone. You need a laptop for this. All AI training jobs, you need a laptop for this. You need a laptop for this. So if someone has been telling you that you don't need a laptop for it, I'm sorry to tell you that you need a laptop for this. So this has to just be loading. Let me just give it time. So you're going to first meet the dashboard section, and you can see the dashboard section has three things. Complete your training, okay, so that you understand what exactly you're going to be doing. As I told you guys, you're going to be a data annotator, and most of you are just jumping into this for your first time with this project, meaning you might not have enough understanding on how to do things like this properly. Now, you can actually get knowledge from YouTube, but I feel the platform will be able to also teach you how you can go about this. So this is LinkedIn. You can see I've been in contact with them. I actually messaged them, and I didn't get any feedback from them via LinkedIn, but you can see from my email, I got a feedback from them. And this, as I told you, they just came recently. It just came recently. If you see the first job they post, which is the one we just got, data annotator, is 3 days ago. All right. So for us in the third world countries, you find out that we are actually being paid less. I don't know how much they're going to pay people in the United States, but for me, it's still fair enough for a good start. $2.5 per hour. If you are devoted, you can make up to $200 in 2 weeks. So you can see I was here on LinkedIn, and I asked them, could there be consideration for other locations who are up to the task and can deliver quality? And they said, yes, of course. So Atlas is a new project, and I feel you jumping in now gives you an opportunity. Make sure you're on their Discord channel, because I feel you're going to be given roles that will be attached to your account and which will increase your pay in the future when these companies start getting work. Okay, when they start getting jobs from big tech companies like Microsoft, Nvidia, and the rest. So that's just an introduction. Let's get back into the main dealing. So once you are now in your account, you can see that you actually, okay. Okay, so here's an announcement, yeah, but let's leave that. We'll talk about that later. So you have to complete a training section, you have to set up payment, and you have to do labeling tags to earn money. It's a very simple ABCD procedure. All right, so I'm going to go through the training. All right, so let's see what the training is about. So let me start the training, okay? So the certification includes training guidelines, a video demonstration, knowledge quiz, and practical assessment. The task takes approximately 3 to 45 minutes. It is 7 section question, 12 question, 1 video, 3 sample. Okay, so this is just it. Now, it's going to take 30 to 45 minutes. I think I'm going to record the whole thing. So this video should be at least about an hour. All right. So that you guys will get an idea. Now, I don't know whether the questions are going to be the same for you guys. All right. But let's see. So I'm going to take my time. Let's go through this assessment. So I'm going to start the training. All right. So I'm going to read. This is it. I'm going to read through all this: knowledge quiz, training video, practice assessment. I'm going to be teaching you guys at this point, okay, since I am someone who is into this whole thing. So I will be teaching you guys how it goes. So the goal of this task description, and the goal of task description text label is to provide high-level description of tasks that is factually correct to what is occurring visually. Labels are machine annotated and human sample reviewed. Now, they say minimum pace, 1x real time. Review 1 hour of footage per 1 hour work. Video plays at 4x speed by default to help your work efficiently. Now, your accuracy target, you have to target 97% correct labels and edits. Work will be audited and reviewed for correct review or edit of labels, okay? A performance review and evaluation will occur if work falls below or exceed, okay, expectation. So that means you have to be good, okay? You have to be good. So the next thing here is important. You see any of the following issues, the annotation must be rejected. Now, if you see hallucinations, okay, I will explain what it is. So hallucinations, labels are annotating hallucinations. The label did not happen at all. The action or object described in the label is completely fabricated. So, when you hallucinate, it basically means you're actually saying something that's not there, or you are saying something or pointing towards something that is not actually there. And all these AI models actually do these things, okay? AI models are actually learning from human input. So comes a time they are going to hallucinate, they are going to give false infos, fabricated infos. So you have to watch out for these details in order for you to make sure you are annotating correctly. Now, incorrect timestamp, very important, especially when you're doing, you are trying to do video transcription, okay? You're trying to transcribe words, okay? You're trying to transcribe human actions, laughter, sadness, and all of these things in a video. You have to follow the timestamp and make sure that they are exactly where they are. So timestamp are incorrect with greater than 2 seconds error. So if the timestamp is greater than 2 seconds error, okay, instead of, okay, the timestamp should be, let's say, and maybe it ends at 7 minutes 15 seconds. Maybe it ends at 7 minutes 15 seconds, but the AI is giving 7 minutes 17 seconds. It's okay. The difference between 15 seconds and 17 seconds is 2 seconds. But once the error supersedes or exceeds 2 seconds, okay, then the timing is significantly off and You have to make note of that. Then overlapping annotation. Okay, it's very also important. Annotations are overlapping one another. Time frame bleeds into the other. Okay, each segment should have distinct non-overlapping time boundaries. So you have to be very, very careful, very, very careful with this whole thing in order for you to make sure you're doing the right thing and get a good percentage. Now, good annotation meets all of the following criteria. Okay, factual description, it should be factual, it should not hallucinate. Okay, it should be appropriately broad enough to encompass the whole purpose of the task and segment within the timestamp. There should be minor timestamp tolerance, okay, less than 2 seconds of error as opposed to the greater than 2 seconds of error. Very straightforward, very easy. So this is the labeling standard. Labels should describe the action in the video. Don't go and bring in things that are not there. Labels, label any period without specific activity as no action. So when there is no action, do that. Strictly describe visible goals only. Do not make assumption, guesses, or infer intent. Okay, you are training a model. Do not make assumption. Make sure what you're seeing is what you are putting in. Okay, so moving on. So you have to read. So don't think this is a very simple. I don't think this is something that you just come and make money just like that. You have to work for your money. So object details, omit descriptive attributes such as brand, colors, or models if they are uncertain. So instead of black iPhone, just say a phone. So if they are uncertain, they are not showing clearly, you can't certainly say, oh, this is an iPhone. This phone this person is holding is an iPhone. You can't certainly say. So omit it and just go with simple names. Format preference, use simple descriptive text label. All right, so using scissors to strip insulation from the black cable instead of saying pick up cable. So you have to be as descriptive as possible. What you see going on is what you should talk about. So maximum duration 8 seconds, 40 seconds per label, 8 seconds minimum. 100% of the video must be annotated without temporal gap. Then this is how you're going to be doing it. So this is how your output is going to be. From so minutes and second that this tag started to so minutes and this is what happened. So if the person or whatever was on the video was pressing the phone, when did that person start pressing the phone? And when did that person stop pressing the phone? When did that person stop calling? And when did that person started calling? And when did that person stop calling? Then you talk about what was done. So you're going to see everything. All right. This is something I'm showing you guys live so that whoever is coming up or watch these videos know what to do. So you can see I know through this whole thing. So I'm just going to brush through. So let's move further. I would have just gone and started doing this, but I had to do this for most of you guys who are just coming across annotation for the first time. So hallucinating object, action and object. Problem, incorrect object, no floor used, incorrect action, no pouring. Choice, reject. Now, uncertain rotation, go coerce. When you are unsure about the specific action direction, use a more general coerce term. So problem, user is not removing the screw. They seem to be installing them. Solution, delete removing and reward to rotating or fixing, which is more coerced and factual. Old level, removing screws from the top edge of the phone paces. Rotating screw from the top edge of the phone paces. Problem 2. Problem, user is removing the screws, not tightening. Solution, reward reassembling to removing and tightening to removing. So instead of saying reassembling the socket component and tightening the main screw, you say removing the socket component and removing the main screw. So these are very important things you have to take note of. Next, word flexibility. Word choices are flexible. So different word choices can be equally correct as long as they accurately convey the action. So placing the bouquet of flowers diagonally onto the center of the white wrapping paper. Explanation. White flowers laid out front. The recorder moves the flower from the left side to the middle of the wrapping paper. Here, placing is enough to convey that they are moving or picking and placing the flowers onto the wrapping paper. So, adjusting pink string. In the few second label, the recorder picks up the spool of string and is adjusting the string to prepare to pull and cut it. The label adjust pink string is still correct. Okay. So incorrect granular details. If the annotation describes something specific about an object, brand, color, quantity, and it's incorrect, reject the annotation. Okay. So pick up 2 spoons, but they are only 1 spoon. Reject and edit 2 to 1. This thing is just English. It's your ability to understand what you are seeing, what is happening, and convey your message. Place the neck shirt down, but it's not a neck shirt, so reject and delete neck. So you just say place the shirt down because you're not sure if it's a neck shirt. Roll the second egg roll, and there is a pile of egg roll on the table. Validate. Sequential counting is okay. So lastly, have true labels and multiple action. Labels that mention 2 or more action, if one of the action is untrue and not actually done, should be rejected. Very, very important. So pick up weight and frame. New label, pick up weight. Now the label mentions picking up both weight and frame. However, only the weight was interacted with in the video. This is a half false, so reject and edit. It's very straightforward. Placing a label in a plastic carton and still starting to fill it with eggs. The label mentioned placing label, which is correct, but incorrectly that there is filling in egg with egg, so it's wrong. Sequential counting or context. In coerced labeling, we only describe the action being done. We don't keep track of which exact object is which. Cutting the second seedling into a black poly bag, but not necessarily the second seedling. Validate. Now, good video example. That's what you say. So I've read and understood this, are ready to proceed. So let's go to the quiz. So they say in the minimum pace for reviewing footage, what is the minimum pace for reviewing footage? I think I missed that too. Well, I think it was either 2x, because they say it's going to be 4x. Okay, so you must at least, the answer is 1x. You must review at least 1 hour footage per 1 hour. So 1x real time. We just played at 4x speed, okay, by default. So help work effectively. Yeah, I feel that. So what is the expected accuracy rate for labels and edit? It's 97%. I know that. I think the mistake was that 4x. Which of these is a fail condition for annotation? Time start error less than 2 seconds is not a fail. Label describe an action that never happened. Hallucination. Using a broad term like rotating instead of removing. Sequential counting like second seedling. So this is a fail. Label describes an action that never happened. It's a fail condition for annotation. Okay. So what time start error threshold causes an annotation fail greater than 2 seconds. So this is straightforward. I failed only one, so I'll try to keep it at that because I have 12 more questions. Annotation with overlapping time frames should be validated if the labels are correct, pass with a note, failed, time frame should not bleed, it should be failed. Time frame should not bleed into another. What is the valid duration range in a single label? So 8 to 40 seconds. That was it. So what percentage of video must be annotated? 100%. You are not going to leave anyone unannotated. How should periods without specific task activity be labeled? So you should just put no action was done. Any period that there is no action, you put NA, no action. A label say pick up 2 spoons, but there are only 1 spoon in the video. What should you do? You should reject and edit the 2 to 1. That is the action being done. Okay? A label say pick up a weight and frame, but only the weight was taught. What should you do? You should reject and remove the frame because the action there was just the weight. Roll an egg, this. Okay? So you can accept this with sequential counting. The label say placing a label in a carton and start filling with egg, but they only place the label, not the eggs. What do you do? Of course, you reject, okay, the egg part is incorrect. So I've demonstrated solid understanding and I'm now watching the training video. So this video is about 7 minutes long. You can see. So they say watch the full video to continue. You can rewind to rewatch sections, but you cannot skip ahead. So I can go back, or I cannot skip. So I have to watch the entire thing. So let's see what this video is about. Okay. So this is the label. Then it's already annotated here with the time start. Okay. So, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's keep on watching. So this video is even getting to explain what you're going to be doing. And you can see exactly what you're going to be doing. It's very easy. Like, in fact, they even actually made it simple. If from my understanding on this video that you're going to have the annotated details by the left or by the right side and in the video, it's even easy because we as an annotator for different projects, there are projects that won't even do this for you. You be the one to look for the time. You make your own statement. Yours now is just to adjust this. So I think this is very beginner friendly. And maybe I'll make some couple more videos about the project if I'm free. But this video quite explains what we're going to do. So let's continue to assessment. So to start this assessment, and they say I should score at least 80% correct to pass. Okay, I'm going to review 5 videos episode and decide whether to validate or edit each label. So I need 80% to pass. I have to review each segment in each episode. I have to use keyboard like V to validate, E to edit. So let's start the assessment. So you're going to be seeing it from my own end. All right. So let's see the first video. So I'm just going to look at this. Okay. So we have seconds. Okay, 0 to 24 seconds. This is a 1 minute video. This is 24 to 45 seconds. So within 0 to 45, within 0, okay, let me zoom in. Within 0 to 24.5 seconds, I should see aligning the handle held puncher and creating the first set of holes on the cut hard. Okay, so let's see. So it's aligning the handheld puncher and creating the first set of holes. Okay, so 2 seconds. Then it's now punching, okay, subsequent holes along the curved edge of the white paper up to the 49 second. Okay, so punching subsequent holes along the curved surface of the white paper. Then lastly, inspecting the placement of the punch hole, okay, and repositioning the paper. So inspecting the placement of the punch hole and repositioning the paper. Now I think there is a mix-up in this whole thing. Okay, I think there is a mix-up in this whole thing. Let's see again. You can see this first part, it's actually inspecting the placement of the punch holes and repositioning the paper, because there's already a punch hole. They actually, it seems they actually interchanged this my options. They interchanged it. Okay, so I'm going to take some up and bring some down. So what I can see here is actually inspecting the placement of the punch hole and repositioning the paper. That's what's happening in this first part. Then the next part is it started punching subsequent holes along the curved edge of the so it says punching subsequent holes along the curved edge of the white paper. And if you look at this, it was actually not punching any subsequent hole. It was still actually punching holes. Okay, it was punching holes, punching subsequent holes along the curved edge of the white paper. Nope. Then they say the last one was inspecting the placement of the punch hole and repositioning the paper. Okay, so aligning the handheld puncher and creating the first set of holes on the cutout. So I would validate this. Okay. Then the second one, which is this. Okay. It now say punching subsequent holes along the curved edge of the white paper. Inspecting the placement of the punch holes and repositioning the paper. Okay. I feel this whole thing is mixed up. So I'm going to work on it now. Now, sometimes you can use AI. Okay. You can use AI to assist you in things like this. Inspecting the placement of the punch holes and repositioning the paper. Like I said, I feel this thing, so I'm going to go with my gut. Let's go. So aligning the handheld puncher and creating the first set of holes on the cutout. Okay. Punching subsequent holes along the curved edge of the white paper. Okay. Okay. Yes. Then the last one is inspecting the placement of the punch holes and repositioning the paper. Okay. Inspecting the placement of the punch holes. Yes. And repositioning the paper. Did he reposition the paper? I don't think so. Inspecting the placement of the punch holes and punching subsequent holes. That's what I'm going to put here. And punching subsequent holes, because it didn't look like I'm punching subsequent holes. Save. So let's go edited. What am I going to see next? Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. So validate, Let's go next. Okay, so this preparing the workspace by cleaning the table and sharpening the utility knife. That is first 15 seconds. Let's go back to that again. Okay. So there was no sharpening of utility knife. So preparing the workspace by cleaning the table and utility knife, because that's what it looked like to me. Okay. I think I'll say preparing the workspace by cleaning the table now and sharpening the utility knife was not done. So we'll remove that. I just remembered. So we'll remove that. So preparing the workspace by cleaning the table, sharpening the utility knife was not done. So let's see the next thing. Laying out and smoothing the black fabric on the cutting mat. Okay. Measuring specific length with metal ruler and making initial cut. Okay, we're still on the last one, measuring specific length with a metal roller and making initial cut. So I'm waiting to see if initial cuts are made. So there was nothing like initial cut. So we'll take this out, save. Okay, I want to do the second one. Laying out and smoothing the black fabric on the cutting mat. Yeah, that's what he did from 15 seconds to 43 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to validate this. So next. So placing a folded item on the stack and beginning to fold the sleeve of a black shirt. Let's take this again. Placing a folded item on the stack and beginning to fold the sleeve of a black shirt up to 30 seconds. Okay, placing a fold item on the stack and beginning to fold the sleeve of a black shirt, completing the fold of the black shirt and placing it on the chair at 52 seconds. It stopped. Okay, it completed it and placing it on the chair. Correct. Laying out a white shirt and folding the sleeves inward. Okay. Okay. Then it says folding the body of the white shirt and adding it to the pie. Then retrieving a green shirt and smoothing it out on the nightstand. So let me start again. So placing a folded item, okay, I'm beginning to fold the sleeves of the black shirt at 30. Placing a folded item on the stack and beginning to fold the sleeve of a black shirt. I don't think so, because that action was not done. I'm doing something. I'm doing something to fold the sleeve of a black. So clearly it was not done. Placing a folded item on the stack and beginning to fold the sleeve of a black shirt. Completing the fold of the black, well, I would say that completing the fold of the black shirt and placing it on a chair up to 52 seconds. Okay, yeah, this is correct. I'll validate this. Okay, laying out a white shirt and folding the sleeve inward. It laid a white shirt. Okay, and folding the sleeve inward at 118. That did not happen. At 118. Nope. This did not happen. Laying out a white shirt and folding the sleeve inward. Nope. It was just laying a white shirt. Remember, we're looking at a 2 seconds difference. Up to 118, it was not even folding. It was just laying out a white shirt. It was just laying out a white shirt up to 118. Then it was at 130. It started folding the sleeve. So it was just laying it out a white shirt. Then at 118 to 142, folding the body of the white shirt and adding it to the pile. Yes, I would say that. Folding the body and adding it to the pile.
1 second on that. She come with your class.
She come with my.
What you are doing now, that is just 1 second.
Eh?
She say 1 second that she wants to see you for 1 second.
I'm coming. Okay, so we are now having the last segment, which is retrieving a green shirt and smoothing it on the nightstand. Smoothing it on the nightstand. Let me find this word nightstand. I don't know. What is this nightstand? Okay, yeah. So that table is it's a nightstand. So I agree. So retrieving a green shirt and smoothing it on the nightstand. Sorry. Okay, so that's it. I'll validate this too. So this first one that says placing a folded item on the stack and beginning to fold the sleeve of the black this thing. I won't validate this. I won't validate this. I'll just say placing a folded item on the stack and beginning to fold, okay, a black shirt, not the sleeve. I'm beginning to fold a black shirt. So I'll validate this. I'll save this. Yep. Yep. So guys, give me a minute. Let me go and answer someone. I'm coming back in. I'm actually losing a lot of time. I think episode 4 out of 5, and it's 3 segments too. Okay, so removing, let's start with the first one. Removing skins from red peanut. Okay, taking from the square container up to 28 seconds. That was what she's been doing. with removing skins from red peanut taken from the square container, yes, up to the 28 second. Then continuing peel the red peanut individually, yes, yes, that's what she's doing, up to the 58 second. So you just be noting the timestamp. Okay, and the last one is finishing the peeling process for the current batch of peanut. So it says finishing the peeling process for the current batch of peanut. So removing the skins of red peanut. Okay, let me zoom this well and make sure it's red. Now I can't even say if this is red, but it looks red though, because you have to be very distinct. Let's see red peanuts. Let me see how they look like. Okay, so yeah, those are red peanuts. All right. So you have to be validating this thing with your this thing. Continue the peeling to peel the peanuts individually, yes. And the last section say finishing the peeling process for the current batch of peanuts. I don't think so, because there's a whole lot of peanut right here, and she did not finish it. So I can't say this is finishing the peeling process for the current batch of peanut. So I can say finishing not finishing the peeling process for the current batch of peanut. Yeah, so this should be it. All right, so next episode. So this episode 5 out of 5. So let's start. Separating a wrapper, peeling it with meat, and rolling the first spring roll. Okay, so that's first 11 seconds. Let's go back again. Separating a wrapper. Okay. Filling it with meat and rolling the first spring roll. Yeah, that's what the person did. Filling it with meat and rolling the first spring roll up to the 11th second. Okay, so I'll validate this. The next one says filling the next wrapper and assembling a spring roll up to 24 seconds. Filling the next wrapper. Yeah, that's what it did. And assembling a spring roll. Yep, it did that. Validate. Separating another wrapper sheet and constructing a spring roll. So separating another wrapper sheet and constructing a spring roll. Okay. So all these are just words. It doesn't matter. Filling the next wrapper and assembling a spring roll. Separating another wrapper sheet and constructing a spring roll. Okay. Carefully peeling a wrapper and creating a new spring roll up to 54 seconds. Okay. Preparing another spring roll by separating the wrapper, filling and rolling up to 109. Okay. Preparing another spring roll by separating the wrapper, filling and rolling. Yep. Then separating a new wrapper and assembling the next spring roll. Let's see. Nope. Did it separate a new wrapper in this section? No, I don't think so. There was no wrapper separated. It just started assembling the next spring roll. So I'm going to edit this. So separating a new wrapper and assembling, no. I'll just say assembling the next spring roll. Okay. Separating a new wrapper and up to 24. Let's start this again. So it actually didn't do that. Constructing a spring roll from wrapper separation to final placement. Constructing a spring roll from wrapper separation to final placement. Yes, constructing a spring roll from wrapper separation to final placement. Filling a wrapper and making another spring roll. Let's see, 39. Okay, I'm making another spring roll up to 52. Yep. Validate. Then the last one says separating a final wrapper and adding filling to start the next row. It wasn't separating a wrapper. So I will say placing a final wrapper and filling to start a. So placing a final wrapper and filling and adding filling to start a new row. So I will use this. So let's go to this one, which is constructing a spring roll from wrapper separation to final placement within 12 to 39. Okay, yeah, I'll validate this. So okay, so you need 80% correct, 19/22 to pass. Review the breakdown below and try again. So let's see. I think I really need to focus on this. So this is what you're going to do. I have to just go out of this video so I can focus and pass this. So you're going to pass this test, because if you can't pass this test, you can't jump into this project. Okay, so please take your time, follow the instructions, and do the right thing. So let me just review mine and try to pass it.